Welcome back to the Raging Ricky Sports Podcast. This is episode 4, where we will be getting into the GOAT debate in the NBA. I have with me the same three from episode 3, Mr. Johnny E., Mr. Winson Cheong, and Mr. Brendan Yoshida. All right, so I want to specifically focus on LeBron and Michael Jordan. I know there's other guys should be considered into the debate, but I feel like the topic, at least for now, a lot of people have been getting into LeBron and Jordan, and I feel like that's pretty fair to do for us ourselves. So, LeBron and Jordan, who do you guys think is better? Let's just start like that. We'll get into it. I still think it's Jordan. I'll start it off. I still think it's Jordan by a hair. I don't think it's set in stone that Jordan's like the best ever. I think LeBron could catch him, especially this season. He might catch him this season. But yeah, I just think Jordan's been a bit better, a bit more clutch. But we'll see how it goes.
Jordan. Honestly, I think if Jordan's playing in today's NBA with the contact, he'd be getting like X many free throws a game, and he'd probably be scoring like 30 plus 40, maybe 40 points a game.
Average 40.
Almost.
He was averaging 35.
But I mean,
yeah.
The thing is,
contact.
Kevin Durant's probably the greatest offensive weapon of all time. In my opinion, he's easily the most skilled.
I think pre-injury, 100%. Even post-injury.
Post-injury, the man scored 40 on like 50% shooting.
Yeah, I know. I agree. But like 100% pre-injury.
If Kevin Durant can't do it, I don't know if Michael Jordan could have done that.
That's true too. That's possible.
Right?
So what are you saying? You're saying like...
I think it's Michael...
I'm glad it's tough.
Jordan by a hair.
It's also throwing defense.
Oh, yeah. I'd probably go Michael Jordan by a hair. Just because I know Michael Jordan in... if Michael Jordan shot a free throw blindfolded. Closed his eyes, and he catched it.
Yeah.
LeBron could have all the contact lenses in the world, and he might miss it.
All the Aki Oasis.
Give him Kristine's glasses, he'll still miss it. Like, this guy is... Like, the last 4 seasons, this guy has really crumbled on the line. I don't know what's going on. Like, his free throw percentage went from 79 to 73 to like...
Overall,
now he's just 69, and I rate the number. But I don't rate the percentage.
What about you, John?
Honestly, I think I would give it to LeBron because
Not Russell
I know that's like
not Russell Westbrook.
top 10 NBA all time. Russell Westbrook.
My God!
But that's not what we're debating today.
That's crazy.
I would give the edge to LeBron. I think a lot of people have it that MJ's 6 championships will always give him the edge. But I give props to LeBron for playing way longer. And proving that he could be the elite of the elite for much longer than MJ ever did it. We don't know if MJ played into his late 30s like LeBron did, if he could be half as successful as he is. LeBron is an absolute freak. He's an animal to be able to be doing what he is at the age he is. So I think he's goated. I love MJ. MJ had a complete game. Don't get me wrong. And there were some areas where he is better than LeBron. But the fact that LeBron has had the longevity and he's still on the championship hunt to chase 6 because he's always going to be chasing the ghost of MJ, I think he's goated to be honest, in my mind.
MJ came out of retirement. He went from office to player and dropped 22 on a league.
He went from baseball to...
Baseball.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about baseball, but
he
I know
also
the
did
training
that in his physical prime.
Yeah.
But I mean, he came out of the Washington head office. He was like the GM, and he was like, the best thing for this team is for me to be the GOAT again. And
he wasn't though. When he came back, he wasn't the best.
No, he wasn't. But he was obviously wasn't in playing shape, and he still dropped 22 on everyone's head top at 38.
Yeah, it's impressive. I agree, it's impressive. But I do want to.
But he didn't do it for an 82-game season. That's different.
But he also didn't have the training.
Yeah,
he didn't have the preparation.
It's fair. I mean,
I just got to give my respects to LeBron. I think he is the greatest to play the game. It's tough comparing eras because, like Yoshi mentioned, we don't know how MJ would have feasted or taken advantage of the foul-heavy league that we're in right now. But unfortunately, we'll never see that. But I just think for him to do it for as long as he has and to still be so damn successful and be the unanimous number 1 player in the – I mean, maybe not unanimous, but a lot of people's number 1 player in the NBA at, 37, 38? How old is he? Old as hell.
36.
He was
36.
That's insane to me.
I want to get into
have done it for so long.
The whole like
since he was 18.
The only
18 years
thing
old.
is I don't like about old heads when they talk, because most of the people, a lot of the people who say Michael Jordan's hands down better, it's not even a conversation.
Yeah, they don't
are
wanna
the
have
old
a
heads, and they're like,
conversation.
I remember when I had to go watch Michael Jordan, I had to travel like 20 kilometers, drive through snow, swim through a river, cross a mountain, like get struck by lightning 3 times,
And then Tombstone pile
and
drive
then choose
him on
like
the
the
court.
Undertaker, and then beat him in WrestleMania, and have the record go undefeated.
Beat him in the Hell in a Cell match.
Hell in a Cell, the ladder, jump from the top of the CN Tower, and bubble some girl in Caravana, and only then could I watch Michael Jordan play. And like they
Kill the Night King.
overreact for everything. Everything is always like everything was always tougher back then.
Yeah, I agree. That's why like people like that they don't just like they don't want to have the conversation. But I do want to get into this whole like finals debate. They're like, oh, he's 6-0 versus LeBron. He's like, was he 4-6? I think 4-6
Something like that.
in the finals.
4 and 6.
I don't like that like debate for Jordan. Like, it's just I'm like, oh come on, man. Like for most of those finals, he was the best player on the court. He should have like more finals MVPs realistically. Just because he was on the losing team, he never won it. But like you watch, you're like, yeah, LeBron's the best guy on the court on both teams.
I mean,
So finals MVP, he should have more than 4 in my opinion. I agree with that. I think finals MVP matters a lot. And I'm pretty sure Jordan has 6, right? He was the best
he
player
was 6
all
and
6 times
6
he
and
won it. I think LeBron should probably have at least 6 too.
But think
So
about it this way.
you shouldn't knock him that much for
You shouldn't.
as
But
well.
if LeBron is 10-0 in the playoffs, is this conversation different?
Oh yeah, I think
Absolutely.
LeBron is if he's 10-0, no one's arguing.
Even if he's 8-2 in the playoffs, is conversation different?
Yeah.
So
I
the
think
championships
LeBron-
obviously play a factor somewhere here, and the
Yeah,
record
it
plays a
matters.
factor.
It matters. I just think people take it like over the top layer. It's like that's the deciding factor. Everything else doesn't matter. It's 6-0 versus 4-6. I'm like, no, not in my opinion. That's why it's still open in my mind. Like
It's still a debate for sure. I just think Jordan's better all the time. But
Here's some more food for thought. Is take into consideration what LeBron's worked with on some of these championship runs.
Well, his first run was.
He took literally the most disgusting Cleveland team I've ever seen.
Oh, which
J.R.
one, man?
Smith.
Which one?
J.R. Smith, who didn't even know what the shot clock was, what the game clock was, and messed the game, a crucial game in the playoffs up. LeBron was taking that team on deep runs in the playoffs and to NBA Finals appearances. Jordan won 6-0 with always playing with another amazing all-time NBA player in Scottie Pippen. And he played with Dennis Rodman. And they had other good role players around them. MJ was on way better teams than LeBron has probably ever been on in his life. And LeBron is still how many finals appearances? 10?
10.
That's ridiculous. That's insane.
It's quite impressive, especially in this era.
MJ did have better coaching too, obviously.
Yeah. Well,
I
that
don't
team
even
was-
think LeBron has a coach. I'm convinced LeBron coaches.
LeBron is the coach.
I mean,
Yeah.
LeBron gets coaches' jobs.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, you know what? I think this guy works.
Well, I think a big thing is also when the season that he took off, Jordan, that Chicago Bulls team was still really good. They took New York to 7, lost in the second round.
I think they were
I
a
think that's
50
what
win.
with
They were a
Ewing?
50-win team.
With-
Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, when it was just Scotty and Kukoc with my shout out Tony Kukoc, coach.
Oh my god.
Steve Kerr's there. But yeah, they were still a phenomenal team, and that was without Dennis Rodman too, because they
Dennis
didn't get
Rodman was
until
only
the
last
3,
3,
right?
yeah.
That team was phenomenal, and then you put Dennis Rodman and Jordan. Of course, they're winning, and then they still, I think, in the second time of the third run, I don't think I said that right. The 6th time, Indiana took him to 7, and that was close. That was a really close series. So I'm like, okay, he was taken to Game 7. It was like, oh, like he wins it always in Game 6. Not that it's a knock, but I'm just saying that team was phenomenal. That team was phenomenal without him.
With Jordan and his last championship, the team, the management, the GM wanted to destroy the team. They didn't want to
know
hire
that,
Phil
yeah.
Jackson again. He didn't want to re-sign Scotty.
Well, he didn't
and
want to pay Scotty.
and Michael Jordan didn't. Michael Jordan was going to play without them. So Michael Jordan kind of retired in his prime. Like we say he was 6-0, but he really could have been 10-0. Like the 2 years he played baseball was the only time anyone else won in 6 years.
Yeah,
In 8
you're
years.
Right, you're
In
right.
8 years.
That's-
Hakeem
yeah,
Olajuwon
you're right.
got the 2, and then he never sniffed another championship. They went back to back. Michael Jordan came back. Didn't wear
And then
number
Utah
20.
got better too. so
Didn't
that's
wear
why
number
Utah-
23. Came back. Michael Jordan, I'm number 23. Just and shot on everyone's head top.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty
that's
incredible.
what-
Do you know what else was pretty incredible? The entire damn team. It's pretty incredible.
They were good. That's why I said they had that great run, and then obviously I think they lost to Orlando when Jordan came back. Was that in the first round, I believe? When they lost to Shaq. Shaq and Penny.
Oh, first round or second?
It was first or second.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, everyone gave him like, I'm like, you're just coming back. You're probably still like half a baseball player for your body. But I want to bring up a point with LeBron James because we're giving Jordan a lot of praise. You guys ever hear that stat like points generated when it combines assists with your points? So how many assists equals 2 at least, or like if it's 3, it's 3. LeBron leads everybody ever, and it's by like 10,000 points generated. It's like not even close. I think I saw that off YouTube.
Doesn't surprise me.
I'm like, he's like,
done it.
It's his assist. I think that adds like a different component to this whole thing. He played point guard last season. One thing, he never played point guard in his life. He was literally listed as a point guard. He changed positions. Like, can Jordan
But I mean,
do that?
he changed positions on the stat sheet. But LeBron James to me has always been the point guard.
Yeah.
Like they just
forward,
put him small forward, power forward, but he touched the ball the majority of the time.
Yeah,
His
you're right,
usage
you're right.
was always above anyone else on his team.
Yeah, imagine back in the day, Mo Williams was the
Mo
quote-unquote point
Williams,
guard.
yeah, Zagunis Agauskas. Imagine he had the highest usage rate.
Did he get a nice contract? Because speak about coaches, he gets players' contracts too off of his teams, man. Oh, who was that big? Timothy Mozgov got paid nice to go to the Lakers. What the hell? He was a nobody. But yeah, also I want to also say LeBron I think is an underrated defender, and I think he proved that last season.
I don't think he's underrated.
He played well against Jamal Murray.
I don't think he's underrated.
As a defender. I
think LeBron is one of the greatest defenders of all time. I
don't hear anyone saying that.
I think his effort is terrible sometimes. Like like when LeBron James, in my opinion, is sort of a front runner. When things are going really well, he's awesome. He's amazing. He's obviously top 2 GOAT. But like when things are going poorly, he doesn't necessarily always put in the effort. You guys saw the clip when he had to be pushed by Kyle Kuzma, light-skinned Puma. Oh, you're gonna see what's gonna happen this year. Oh my God, I'm gonna be so good. Trash. Vanessa Hudgens, why you date him? You know, whatever. I'm not salty. But like you saw him have to be pushed. Physically pushed
that was
to
in the regular
contest
season, right?
to contest a shot.
That was regular season, right?
I mean, we never really had to. The thing is, we never had to mention Michael's mentality. He was always a killer.
Yeah, so I think we can all agree, like, the mentality of Jordan was just, like, almost untouched. Maybe Kobe had an equal level. I think Kobe was probably on an equal level in terms of mentality.
Yeah.
Like, modern mentality was at least on par. But, yeah, LeBron could definitely be questioned with that. I think that's a knock on him. And then probably also, I think another aspect to talk about is the clutchness. I think they're pretty close too.
I think they're close. I mean,
think it's like
people
50-50.
knock LeBron.
People knock LeBron
because he passes out and they're like, "Oh, why don't you take the shot yourself?" But he's hit some massive.
In his head, he's doing the right thing.
Doing the right thing for his team, right?
I agree.
LeBron is not the
People
type
still
of
knock
player
him.
to shy away from the spotlight. If he's passing the ball in a crucial moment, it's because he thinks it's the best shot to win the game.
Yeah.
If anything, I think that's more like admirable in the sense that he has game awareness and thinks that there's a better shot elsewhere, and he's not always like, I am taking the last shot. Everybody else on this team is irrelevant to me.
But I also think it's admirable to know that I'm the best. The best shot is my shot. Because
that's what I was about to say.
I think there's a line.
Is the pass to someone that's not as good, maybe technically a better shooter, better, or like knowing yourself, you're the guy? I remember, I think Damian Lillard said it last year when he was going through the playoffs in the bubble. He was like, yeah, like I want to make the right plays, but at the same time, like, I need to hit these shots. Like, I just need to hit these shots. I need to pull up from half court. I need to pull up half court and like hit these shots. That's why like Dame's mentality is pretty good too because of that as well. Not that I'm knocking LeBron, but I think if you wanted someone down the clutch, who are you taking, Jordan or LeBron? To get you the shot, like, or even if you want to consider the pass out.
I'm only taking Jordan because I think Jordan's handles better. I think Jordan's post game is better, and I trust him on the free throw line way more than LeBron James. Free throw line.
Free throw is
not even close. I truly think the only point Skip Bayless has ever gotten right is that LeBron James does have demons on the free throw line, in my opinion.
He wrote some of them off in, I think it was that Game 7 that he won against the Golden State Warriors where he hit a couple big clutch free throws down the line. And you're like, okay, that was him hitting some clutch free throws. Other than that, though, his free throws are kind of like lackluster throughout the season. And it could play a role down the stretches of games too. Like you miss a couple down even like second quarter, third quarter. You're like, oh, if I just hit these, we might be winning, or we won't be down so much. I don't know. For me, it's probably like an everlasting debate, and I still have Jordan
I will
Well, I
say
can see LeBron taking it.
To be honest, it might sound weird, but it depends from where the shot's being taken. But I mean, like, if the ball in his hand, I would trust LeBron.
You would trust LeBron more than Jordan to come down the court and just hit a shot.
Yeah.
Or drive or anything. It could be anything.
like you just want the
I
ball in LeBron's hands over Jordan.
Yeah. Because I think LeBron is going to do what's right, and that might be passing it out.
Yeah, just
I think Jordan's going to try to take the shot. And yeah, he'll hit it sometimes, but Jordan didn't hit like a massive majority of his game-winning buzzer beaters. He hit a lot of them, but he didn't hit like 80, 70, some crazy percentage.
No one does.
Exactly, but I would trust, like LeBron doesn't always take that shot, and I like that better. Because what if there's a wide open guy? I'll take a guy that's at least considering that wide open corner spot to fucking, I don't even know, Alex Caruso, than Jordan, who's going to have the best defender on him coming down the court with 10 seconds left. And who's going to take that shot 100%.
For me, it's also like mentality, right? If you're coming down knowing you're taking a shot, you know you're going to have to make the shot. If you're coming down as LeBron thinking, I might pass, I might shoot, and you're going to hesitate here and there possibly.
Yeah.
So that might screw with timing. That might screw with your thought process of where you're going to get the shot off, and it might just be like a more of an emergency thing. Whereas if Michael Jordan's coming down the court, well, one, everyone knows they're going to clear out, and Michael Jordan's going to take the shot, and he knows what he has to do to get in position to do that.
So, well, okay, so if Jordan was this guy that would never pass out, then he would get double teamed, but he was still making these big shots. Like, is that still the wrong choice?
I don't think Jordan never passed out. Jordan did pass.
Yeah, well, I'm sure teams double teamed him.
I think
and he still didn't
LeBron
pass
would
out.
be more likely to
More like, of
No,
course.
I agree, but like, is that a knock on Jordan then?
I think there's some, like, Yoshi made a great point. With 10 seconds left, you really only have time to act on instinct. You are a scorer or you're not a scorer. LeBron's a great scorer, but I don't think his natural instinct is to score. He's a pass-first player who just happens to be a great scorer. Yeah. But I mean,
I definitely think LeBron takes that shot more often than he passes out, but I think he considers it.
Yeah.
And we also don't see LeBron in that position fumbling, not figuring out what to do. He has amazing instincts for the game. He's going to know exactly within 0.01 seconds what he's going to do. He can make the last second pass to an open guy in the corner, or he can make the move to spot up for a mid-range of three. His fadeaway is a staple for him too. Like he'll hit that shot if he has to.
Yeah,
I do trust him to do it.
Okay. You say mid fadeaway is a staple for LeBron James. MJ is the master.
For sure.
Right.
I think MJ's fadeaway is better too.
Also
I just think there are aspects of LeBron's game that are better. Especially defensively. I think LeBron at the rim is nasty.
All right, so let's say LeBron, AD, they get it done, they win another ring. Is anything getting changed in your mind?
No, I think the conversation is still pretty much the same. People are still going to argue both ways.
Yeah, but like in your mind specifically, you guys.
I don't know if LeBron can beat Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie.
Yeah, that's exactly
because he's gonna be LeBron James for the first time in his career. He's the lowest seed he's ever been entering a playoffs. So he's always going to be on the road. Mm-hmm. And if he 100%. Overcomes, because I think it's going to go Lakers beat the Suns. And then Lakers beat Denver. Denver or Portland. Right?
Yeah, I think you're two versus three.
So I think that then they go on the road again and face the Utah Jazz. And then they go to the championship and then go on the road again and beat this super team with the most offensive talent that's ever been assembled. Like the marvel of offensive talent. James Harden is one of the most unique offensive superstars. He created his own move with the step back with the 100 million steps. Kevin Durant's the most versatile offensive. You can plug him into any position, any offense.
Yeah.
And he will drop 30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then Kyrie, in my opinion, is the most skilled player. If we're talking about handle, we're talking about finishing, right and left.
Right and left, yeah.
Flat Earth.
flat Earth. Whatever it takes for you to get whatever it takes to get a handle like that, Kyrie is a magician.
Yeah, so if he beats those guys.
If he beats that, I really have to. I'm already on the fence because I think LeBron's great. Yeah. And I think it's a much closer debate than people are when I cross the mountain to watch Michael Jordan. But I think I would really seriously have to consider it.
So Brendan, they beat Brooklyn. They beat Brooklyn. Lakers beat Brooklyn.
That's still Jordan for you?
It's still Jordan. Because I don't see Jordan beating this team. Not that I don't see it happening, but he never faced a team like this.
He didn't.
He's never faced a team like with a Kyrie, KD, James Harden type level on the exact same team. But LeBron has now, and he's also taken out a 72.
Oh, you mean like when LeBron beat a stacked Golden State Warriors team in the finals?
Well, not KD worth stacked, but yeah, he beat a 72 team.
Don't bring that. That's
How many teams has LeBron beat with multiple Hall of Famers on them?
Well, that's because he's new era basketball.
Well, I mean, Steph and Clay are going to the Hall of Fame.
I mean, with how lax
Tim Duncan. But
Tim Duncan was in his prime.
Yeah, you're right.
It was a young
young
Kawhi, old cheating Tony Parker. I'll never forgive him. Eva Longoria is my girl. Shout out to you. I got you, girl.
Young Danny Green.
Young Danny. When he could still shoot. Manu Ginobili.
Yeah, I think LeBron's biggest knock though is that loss to the Dallas team.
I really thought he was. I thought that was a three-peat. It's just.
I love that Dallas team, by the way.
Like LeBron James, his failures are on a bigger stage because LeBron James has never ever lost in the first round, but Michael Jordan has.
Mm-hmm.
But those get swept under the rug. Where I'm giving, I'm a Michael Jordan guy, but I'm giving both sides, right? Like his failure in that finals was terrible. Like he was the undisputed best player in the NBA, and he said he had the whole the Heat special, where he's like the decision,
free agency special,
and then he's like, I'm
South
taking
Beach,
my talents to South Beach, and then he joined it with D Wade and Chris Bosh, which was revolutionary. No one was taking ownership of their careers. It was always been management takes ownership.
I was going to say
career.
there's a big three in Boston, but that was assembled. It wasn't the players.
That was traded for. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't knock
LeBron.
LeBron. I don't knock LeBron on creating a super team because super teams have always existed. Larry Bird played with like 4 or 5 Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
When Magic Johnson got drafted to the Lakers, the Lakers just won a championship and he was the first overall pick. The Lakers got the first overall pick and drafted Magic Johnson. So they've always been super teams assembled, and LeBron just said, I want to assemble my own. And I don't know why people are knocking him on that.
Because he doesn't deserve it.
Smart.
Like,
if you, why wouldn't you not do that as your player? If I'm like, okay, why would I not go play with D Wade and Chris Bosh? They already like it was Chris Bosh that went first, and I'm LeBron. I'm like, why would I not go there? I'm like a free agent. I might as well. What's the difference between the Boston one that was assembled then is that the management did it. So it's like, I don't care. I'll do it myself. Why would I wait for management to do it? When I do a signing trade with Cleveland, Cleveland's not going to do that. They're not going to trade me away. I agree. But Jordan never had to do that.
He had great management, though. I will give the short midget. He was a great manager. RIP.
No, yeah. Tony Kukoc was great. Getting Scottie Pippen was like obviously
what a move.
Them two, like, man. I guess the last time we saw 2 All-Stars win a championship was the Raptors. The Raptors were the last one.
Shout out.
Before that, it was always like 3 guys. Even when Golden State didn't get KD, Draymond was an All-Star.
Oh God,
at that level too, right? There's always been 3 All-Stars. So he basically, he didn't start the trend, but yeah, he was the one that did it himself. I mean, who knows? Maybe Jordan would have been able to do it himself if Chicago wasn't as good as they were too. But that's just speculation.
Well, the Lakers won last year and they only had AD and LeBron, 2 All-Stars.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah,
right.
You're right. Not just 2 All-Stars.
Like trios are just in, right?
Yeah,
they're the fad.
They're the fad.
I think what was so intriguing last year was that there were so many teams that were just twos. Like it was Kawhi and Paul George, and then KD and Kyrie. There was like 2 duos at like AD and LeBron. It was like, okay, this is good.
Jimmy Butler, Bam.
No, but you're right.
Giannis, Middleton.
So I was like, okay, now it's back. But then, Brooklyn traded for James Harden. He was probably going to go to their Philly, so Philly was going to have a trio no matter what.
If I were Philly, I would have traded Ben Simmons yesterday.
Really?
What? For James Harden?
Dude, Embiid would never be able to get out of bed from crying.
I would trade Simmons for a box of crackers and a first-round pick. What?
So the Sixers are going to have the same karma when it comes to Kyle Lowry not getting Kyle Lowry.
Yes.
My God.
Yes, I agree. All right, let's get into we'll leave them 2 alone because I feel like we're kind of clear that they're neck and neck. But let's get into anyone you guys think right now is in the NBA, kind of on the younger side, that could actually touch LeBron or Jordan in this conversation, if at all.
Luka's touching.
Longevity.
Longevity.
Are you saying touch them GOAT or
Go-
touch the top 5 because it's much easier to
No,
touch.
GOAT. I'm talking about GOAT. Can anyone touch them?
I think
in terms of the GOAT.
Luka will touch GOAT if he gets players on his team, but he literally has to. At this point, you have to.
one All-Star. He just needs one.
At this point, you have to show that you can make it far in the playoffs, and he clearly can't do that by himself. Well, he can kind of.
He
but
might do it this series. He still has a chance to do it by himself. He has
might,
a chance.
but-
Either he's up 2-1. Obviously, like Kawhi and Paul George ain't no slouch, and they proved that. But
I just think your team needs role players, even as a superstar.
Yeah.
Like even LeBron's doo-doo teams, they were still
all, like,
decent role
shooters,
players. Yeah. Like Dellavedova was a star shooter all of a sudden. I don't know, like
shout
you know,
out
like
when he was locking up Curry for a game and a half.
How dare you?
yeah.
he
See,
did so well.
How dare you?
I think it was game 3
How
and like
dare
half
you.
of game 4. This guy was doing it. This guy's actually competing with Steph Curry. He's giving him a hard time. Like what? We didn't really see that before because he could just shoot lights out from anywhere. Thought he was kind of, he was dancing with him, man. He was dancing with him.
Yeah, they were dancing salsa, and
Yeah,
Steph Curry was a leader. He was leading. He's like this.
I agree.
He had his hand
wanted to, he was.
on. He had his hand on his hip, and he's like, "Yo, come this way, baby." You know that Wii music.
For a vast majority of that series, you're right. But for that, like game 3, everyone was freaking out.
Oh yeah, for that one play, yeah, sure.
2K like 15, 2K17. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But yeah, I think Luka is going to be there. I'm going to 100%. I think in my mind at the
100%.
end of the career, he'll. Yeah, I'm going to say he'll be like being mentioned with those two. I think he's that good.
I think it's.
He's been playing pro for like 7-8 years already. This guy's won in the second best league in the world, the MVP when he was a teenager.
Yeah, 17, 18.
He won the Euros MVP or the EuroLeague MVP. Who does that at 18? Like, there's a lot of good players that are there that people don't know, and he did that 10 years younger than people's, and they're like in their primes, veteran players. He comes here, he shows out in his first rookie season. The next season, he's actually being considered in the MVP votes. And this season, he hasn't regressed. If anything, his 3-pointing's got better, and he's shown it out against Kawhi, who everyone was considering at one point top 5. Clearly the best player all 3 games.
His trajectory is crazy. Like, if you think about it, like rookie to second year to third year, I was like, how can he get any better? And he just keeps getting better.
But he's gonna keep, and he's young.
He's 22.
Young.
I mean,
he has so much room to get better.
Someone who I don't think will be a part of the conversation, but I think we should just bring his name up because of his success in the playoffs. We gotta bring up Jason Tatum.
Really?
Jason Tatum, I don't think he's going to be GOAT. No, I don't think he touches GOAT stats because he's not even a top 10 player. But if we're talking about young stars who have a lot of accomplishments, and they've already gone deep in the playoffs. Jason Tatum has gone deep in the playoffs.
He's also had a lot of help.
Yes, that is true. But I mean, he has, in his rookie year, he went head to head against LeBron without Gordon Hayward that year.
Yeah,
right?
and he took him to 7. Right?
Took him to 7.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true. And he just showed out against Brooklyn too.
Remember a year and a half ago, it was like, hey, would you rather take Siakam, Tatum, or Booker?
God, that was a conversation.
People were like, Siakam.
Remember our group chat? We had like an hour-long conversation about who we pick. He's like, yeah, we were all being nice. Like, yeah, Pascal's okay. Now Pascal's one Beyblade away from the other one. He's going to be let it rip out of the league.
Okay, but he was, for that playoffs year, I think they tied Scotty and Jordan with the most points from a duo in a playoff run ever. Like tied for number 1. Yeah, Kawhi and Pascal. He was that good. He had a few games dropping 30.
Yeah, he won the game 6. He won.
He showed out, and then something happened. I guess he's just a really good number 2 guy. Like he just thrives off a number 2 role with a MVP level player that was Kawhi Leonard. Like he thrived on it, but now he's the number 1 guy. And Kyle always maybe a number 1.5, but we wanted Pascal to be the number 1 guy for sure. Like you're our guy. I know Kawhi's gone, but you're our guy now, and he's just clearly not doing it. But someone like Kawhi kind of opens up a little bit of space, and we can't leave Kawhi open. He can drive or he can shoot on us, right? So Pascal's like, okay, I'll do my little 360 no scope layups all day, and I'll score. But yeah, anyways, that's off topic regardless, but.
I want to give Pascal a pass. Well, not a pass, but like last season they went 4 months without playing, and I don't think he got to practice. So he obviously didn't improve. This season they were on the road the whole time. And I'm by the way, I'm not a Toronto fan. I actually don't like the Raptors at all. I'm a Dubs fan for life. And RIP my Dubs. But he didn't get to improve, and then being on the road, I think next season I want to see what Pascal brings. I think next season he'll have a lot of time to improve because the league now has tape on Pascal, right? They know he can move, he can spin over the right shoulder. Can he spin over the left? Like I just think that next season next season will show what Pascal does because there's no excuses. Like he gets to go back to Toronto, he gets time to improve, like work on his game. Like I think you'll see like how good Pascal can be. Maybe he'll never
isn't.
or isn't. He might never be in that conversation. But I mean he showed something in the finals.
He did. It was so much to a point where like no way can he like regress that much to like not that he's not playing that bad right now.
And you
but
Toronto fans bully him. Like you guys are bullies.
I agree. I think that a lot of people gave him so much
I still like Pascal.
Yeah,
That's your one.
I think
No,
he can be
we're not
considered
gonna
also.
we're gonna make the playoffs with him if we have home games, but we're not gonna win the championship with Pascal as number one. No shot.
We already
Yeah.
talked about the Raptors.
No shot.
No.
Yeah, what I think of that team.
I feel like
little
Freddie
over
might be an all-star next year. He was already kind of close, like 19-7. That's not that far off.
39% shooting.
Yeah, that's not that far off from an all-star level point guard. I don't think it's that far. Like if he goes to 22-8, like he's an all-star. He's just an all-star.
He actually could have made it this year over Ben Simmons possibly too.
Oh, Ben
Yeah.
Simmons is.
But I think the defense of Ben Simmons, even though like Freddie is a good defender, took it away. But I guess there's no one else. I guess it's just Luka as a young guy.
I really
There's
just think Luka's.
there's
the
no
only
one else for the GOAT debate.
I don't even
At
think
all.
like Luka
Like
has to do a
training?
lot. Luka has to do a lot with his team to even come close to that conversation.
But I think he's at a similar level Jordan was at when he was at that age, like 22 LeBron. So not LeBron. It's 22-year-old Jordan and 22-year-old Luka. Like in terms of skill, like they're kind of similar.
Yeah, but isn't
I think
22-year-old
that's-
Jordan like 1 year out of college or what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he played
Yeah.
three.
But
Three-
that's not.
three years.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be taken
He's
away
like a
from
rookie.
Luka. I mean, Luka was ready at the age of 16 to be a pro. Not even like at the age of 15 to be a pro.
Luka's
He's just ready.
an athletic freak. I don't think we've ever seen somebody at the
I don't
young
even know
age
if-
he was ready for professional basketball.
Yeah, he was tall. I think it's his skill. Like no one's saying like he doesn't have a 40-inch vert. He's not like he can spin crazy as like all these crazy. He just uses his body well enough and manipulates his like positioning in his body enough to like score and pass out of whatever he wants.
Sky's the limit for Luka.
Yeah, I guess there's no one else.
So I think Luka's also hella athletic because like everyone thinks athleticism is running fast, jumping high, but the way Luka can decelerate, because Luka
Yeah,
only
he-
goes from
that's-
he only goes from 0 to 30. That's all Luka has.
Yeah.
But he can.
That's
go,
all he needs though.
But he can go from 0 to 30 to 15 to 5 immediately
Yeah.
and stop on a dime. And
It
that's
plays
a
at his
talent.
pace,
With
right?
handles.
with handle.
Yeah, like the game plays at his pace. He's like, I don't care who you are. You can't speed me up. You can't speed me up or slow me down. I'll play it however I want to. And not even the great defender Kawhi Leonard has been able to slow him down. He's getting his own. It's just his teammates aren't didn't show up for Game 3, right? Yeah, so we'll see about Luka.
I don't think at the end of the
Yeah,
career.
we're gonna be in episode 3,500 of the Raging Ricky podcast.
Yeah.
Talking about this.
Yeah, I honestly like.
You don't see
I don't see
touching
Luka like touching GOAT status. I think
he can.
I think Luka might touch top 10, maybe top 5, but I'm like
I think
GOAT?
he's that much of who else did what he did at his age. At the age of 15, at the age of 17, got a EuroLeague MVP in the second best league in the world.
trajectory wise, yeah, but I mean like
That's what I mean. That's why maybe not. I think he might get mentioned. I don't know if
I
they
think
touch
his
him.
trajectory is good.
yeah, trajectory is good. It's the closest.
Trajectory has him going to like 60 points
Yeah,
a game.
it's the closest it's been.
Yeah, but and then maybe he burns out quicker because he's been a professional for so long already at the age of 22. Maybe he's
Yeah, he could burn
but
out.
like 30. It started slowing down a little bit because he's been playing pro for 15 years. Who could say that at the age of 30 they've been playing half their life professionally?
But
So,
I mean,
we'll see.
EuroLeague has a lot less games. They don't play 82 games.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that too. You're right. Hey, he still won it though, and it's a great league. All right, that will wrap it up for episode 4 of the Raging Ricky Sports Podcast. Thanks again to my guests here. I love having them all on. Mr. Johnny E, Mr. Winson Cheong, Mr. Brendan Yoshida. Thanks again for coming out, and Winson coming out for today. We'll get you on again. Like your takes, you have a lot of good NBA knowledge, man. Really good for a sports podcast.
And guys, if you want an NFL podcast too, like I mean, I know Ricky doesn't want to do it, but like
I'm not well versed in
Talk to him.
football.
Talk
I
to
wish I
him.
was.
talk to him. The NHL, we can talk about that. The NHL, I'm sorry, NFL. NFL. I know nothing about
This guy's
hockey.
got hockey on the
I know nothing about hockey. Go
That's
Leafs.
just because the Leafs Habs game now. Yeah. Anyways, Raging Ricky signing out.